Hey everybody, what's going on? This is RANT Kandy, and I just wanted to bring you one of my rants on just random things that I find either annoying or good or just plain out stupid. First off, there was a big story in the news. I think they took it down off of Yahoo. I think they had it for a few hours and then they took it down. I think it created a big controversy. There was a big story. I believe it was $12 million or 12 million pounds of marijuana were found in this one home, and I think it was a good couple 8 balls of cocaine and some cash itself. This stuff I find ridiculous. Why would people go through such lengths to get themselves in trouble, especially nowadays when nothing is sacred? You know, people don't respect people anymore. People will do anything to get themselves out of trouble. Just those random idiot type things. Speaking of marijuana, I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny how these people sit and they're like, oh, marijuana's bad. I understand that supposedly marijuana is the gateway drug, but what they don't realize is there are way worse out there, and nowadays it's so accessible that kids don't even have to go through weed, pot, this and that, whatever your nickname for it is. They don't have to go through that gateway drug to get, higher drugs nowadays. The worst two things out there nowadays are heroin and meth, and it seems like our governments and people in general aren't doing anything about it. They're more worried about the marijuana scare. I think it's funny because, yes, there's always the debate that hemp is good for paper and hemp is good for this. Well, if people weren't morons and didn't act stupid while being on stuff like this, people would think more about clearing it or even approving it. There are some states who have cleared it, like Colorado. I know there's even a place in Denver that I'd like to go to that is like a gourmet cafe that in their cooking they use marijuana. So I'm starting to feel the states that aren't approving it just have some kind of scare about it or are too small to understand the concept of how much easier and how much money our government and ourselves would save if it was approved. The other thing that kills me is now they're starting to think about taking blunt wraps off sale in stores, gas stations, etc., because they feel it is paraphernalia. It's a blunt wrap. It's used for cigars. It's used for flavoring. I think it's stupid. And they're going to keep the regular kinds. So how do they feel that just taking the flavored blunt wraps and the main blunt wraps off sale will help change anything? I just think it's ridiculous that they're going to take everything off the market when it's still going to be available. People have been getting around things for hundreds of years, and sometimes to get around it is ridiculous, but that's the way people have to do it. Another thing that's irritating me lately is overly eager people. I love these people who want to make plans with you, and you tell them, oh, you need time, you need a few days, you need time to talk to people, and yet they still want to do it the next day. And they even tell you, oh, take your time, it's okay, just hit me back. And then when you do, they're already planning or they're already doing what they had already offered to involve you in. So if that is something like that irritates you, you've had a situation like that, attach a video or leave me a comment below telling me how much it irritates you. The other thing that I find crazy, and I guess it's just one of my, what would you call it, OCD moments, but we went to the post office, and they must have a lot of stamps they need to get rid of, dude, because they gave us these stamps. They got rid of snowmans and little deers, but they're Christmas stamps. Come on, people. So they must be needing to get rid of a lot of stamps. Um, I guess the other thing that irritates me is people who judge others. Nowadays, racism, stereotypes, those things are running amok. They're everywhere. And I'm one of those that I'm hoping I can be here to stomp out just a few of them. One of them that really irritates me is I like my piercings. My piercings express me, and I love going into a supermarket or even just a general dollar store and people staring at me like, just because I have piercings and holes in my face, I'm going to worship Satan and I'm going to eat your children. Come on now, people. Are you serious? It's metal in a face. Other than that, I feel they describe me. Some people describe themselves with fashion, tattoos. I got a few of those of my own. I mean, come on. But people start judging people for the dumbest reasons. Another thing is I usually wear a pentagram or my Isis around my neck, and people are always asking me, isn't that like some satanic like symbol or something? And I hate having to look at them and be like, no, that's an upside down pentagram, and that isn't even specifically a Satanistic symbol. It just became one because that's how people saw it. There was even one point in time when the swastika that the Nazis took over and used as a bad thing, it used to be a sign of protection. And I wear my Isis because I feel that she is one of the, they call them gods and goddesses, but I believe she's more of a, guardian angel for the god and goddess themselves. And I really reason with her, and she just helps guide me in what I need to do. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who are going to watch this and be like, what a hippie freak, just ranting and raving. But it's how I feel, and anybody of like mind, please leave me a comment, add me, whatever. We'll talk, or if you have a subject that irritates you, hit me up with it, and we'll talk about it. I guess the other thing that I find hilarious is that there's the big controversy about Lady Gaga and her being a hermaphrodite. I got the newest issue of Cosmo. It's my one girly tendency. And I was looking at it and I was laughing because on the front features Lady Gaga. It really doesn't look like her to me, and I was actually looking and I was like, well, can you see anything in the picture? They totally airbrushed that bitch. It's horrible, but it's still a beautiful picture of her. Here it is. She has such full lips, and she's just so beautiful in this. I do not in any way own Cosmo. I'm not trying to solicit Cosmo. I'm just trying to show that Lady Gaga is on the front and that she is very beautiful. And see, I swear they air bitched that shit. They air brushed it. No, but anyways, I guess that's all for my rant and raving right now. I just thought that was kind of hilarious, so I thought I'd say something. And the other thing, it's an old issue, but I still want to bring it up, is all these smoking bans. I understand that a lot of people disagree with smoking and the effects of secondhand smoke. But no matter how much they jack up the prices, yes, people have quit smoking. But it's only been about a 25% quitting rate. There's not enough smokers who are going to quit, so no matter how much they jack up the price, cut us out of bars, cut us out of restaurants, da-da-da-da-da, people are still going to smoke if you're a smoker, if you are a true smoker. I'm not saying smoking is good. It's a very horrible habit. But if you are addicted to it, then you are addicted to it, just like anybody else would be addicted to heroin, marijuana, coffee, whatever. But I do know that I understand them taking it out of restaurants. It's a very family-oriented place. But why take them out of bars? Most people go to a bar to have a beer and smoke a cigarette and relax. Or have a cigarette, play pool, get drunk, and be stupid. This one I still don't see. It still doesn't make sense to me. I understand that they're, trying not to make anybody feel left out. But come on, there's got to be a fine line for everybody, and they're not wanting to do that. Well, I'm running out of time, but I'll talk to you guys later, and until then, this is RANT Kandy.